So this is a follow-up, a slightly more extended version, looking at some of the techniques we can do to improve our night's sleep. And we're going to start with the breath, the breathing. Now, the thing about the breathing is that it affects the nervous system. You don't have conscious control over your nervous system, but you can exert conscious control over your breathing. And the breathing and the nervous system are very closely intertwined. So if you can change the rhythm of your breathing, you can therefore change the rhythm of your nervous system and change the nervous system's activity to a calmer state, more conducive to a good night sleep. Because one of the reasons we wake up or can't get to sleep because the nervous system gets a bit trigger happy and the slightest sound can sort of set us off. And if we can just turn down the volume, turn down the sensitivity on the nervous system so as it's calmer and more deeply calm, that's going to help with the night's sleep. So the breath is going to be one of your first tools, and that starts with a very simple change to the way that you're breathing, which is to simply to breathe a bit more deeply and a bit more slowly. That will already start to change the activity of your nervous system. And it will help if you can bring your breath deeper into your body towards this area below your navel. So let's just start pressing your hands below your navel and using your in-breath to expand your stomach. Push your hands away from you as you breathe in. So your in-breath expands your stomach forward, to the sides, down, and back as well. So we're trying to inflate the whole of this lower body area, almost like it's a balloon. So you breathe in, expand the stomach, and then breathe out. And just squeeze your navel backwards softly towards your spine. So just place your hands to provide a bit of counter pressure against your stomach. Breathe in, expand your stomach. Breathe out, squeeze the navel back. Once more, breathe in, expand the stomach. Then breathe in more, lift the chest, and breathe in and fill the chest. And then breathe out from your chest. And then breathe out from your abdomen, squeezing the navel back. And just develops the breath fully. So now, exhale, 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 exhale. And then breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. So your in breath is longer and your out breath is longer. It's just making your breath a little bit deeper and a little bit slower. And it helps to breathe to the belly to engage all of the breathing apparatus of the lower body before you engage the breathing apparatus of your upper body, lower body, stomach, upper body, chest, and ribs. So let's just try 2 or 3 deeper, slower breaths. Breathing in fully, slowly, deeply. Breathing out, longer, more thorough out breath, finishing the out breath, squeezing the navel back to the spine. Breathing in deeply. And breathing out completely. That's step 1. Let's take that one step further and do what's sometimes called box breathing or 4-part breathing. This is where you hold the breath, you retain the breath at every stage of the breathing cycle. And this again just helps to get your breath and your nervous system intertwined with each other so that the breath can change the activity of your nervous system and calm it down to make it more conducive to a good night's sleep. So I'm going to use my hands to illustrate what we're going to do. So here, we're going to breathe in, lift the hands up. You hold the breath for a few seconds, turn the hands over and breathe out. Hold the breath on empty, so you don't breathe in. You breathe out, you stay on empty. Turn the hands over, breathe in. Hold the breath. Turn the hands over, breathe out. The hands are just helped. It's like a diagram to help illustrate what we're doing. Let's do it for a count of 4 for each of those stages. Breathe in, lift the hands. 1, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, turn them over. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold on empty. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Now you do it without the hands. That's just to illustrate what we're doing. So now just breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold on empty. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. And then breathe in, just relax. It doesn't matter too much whether you breathe through your nose or the mouth. Sometimes it's thought to be better to breathe through the nose. I mean, the nose, it warms the air and filters it before it goes into the lungs. But the main thing with all of this is just don't worry too much. It doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is to get the big picture, to learn what we're doing. The next stage of our breath is to do a simple yoga breathing technique, which helps to calm down and balance the nervous system. The breath is alternate nostril breathing, where you just breathe in through one nostril and breathe out through the other nostril. And it's the fact that the nasal membrane, this in the sinuses, are connected very closely geographically and via nerves to the brain itself. It's a very direct connection between the sense of smell and the brain, which is why smell can be such a powerful impact on our thinking. And when we breathe in through one nostril and then through the other, it just gently stimulates the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, because these membranes they're local, they're very close to the brain itself. So you have an impact on the brain, and this movement side to side just helps to bring the two sides of the brain, the two hemispheres of the brain, the left and right brain, into a bit more balance, and that can have a settling, a calming, and a balancing impact on the nervous system. Start with the simplest version. If you just close off your right nostril and breathe in through your left, smoothly and slowly. Hold, and then breathe out through your left, your right nostril. So we're breathing in through the left. Get that clear. Breathe in through the left. Change. Breathe out through the right. You can close off the nostril anyway, like breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. Now do the same thing, but make the breath longer and slower and deeper to engage the principles we were just talking about. Lengthen and deepen the breath. That also helps to slow the system. Breathe in through the left, but longer and deeper. Out through the right. In through the left, longer and deeper. Out through the right. And that's a simple version of Anuloma Viloma, a breath from yoga that helps to balance the activity between the left and right side of the brain. Now, we move on to the Taoist healing sounds. Now, these are movements and breathing techniques and visualization techniques that help to transform stress into vitality. And it gives the mind something to engage with. There's a movement, there's a breath, there's a color. We breathe out what's called the negative emotion. We breathe in the positive emotion, or the virtue, as it's called in the Taoist system. And we start just using the hands to breathe in, lift up, and breathe out the sound for the heart, which is as we sink down towards our right side, which opens up the left, which is where the heart is. Exhale. Exhaling impatience and haste. Inhale patience and calmness. And then place the hands over the heart and just gently smile towards your heart and use your imagination now to fill the heart with a beautiful red color. Love and patience. Honor and respect. These are all virtues of the heart. So we're going to breathe out those negative emotions most likely to disrupt our sleep, which can be a sort of high tempo, anxiety, impatience, haste. Breathe in. Exhale any haste or impatience. Exhaling any sort of murky, dirty colored red. Inhale a beautiful, clear, pure red light in the energy of patience, calmness, love, honor, and respect. And just feel those calmer heart emotions settle into your heart. Imagine a warm glow. We can visualize temperature as well. We can think of like a haste, impatience, panic, worry, these things. Think of them as a hotter temperature, and the patience, the love, and the honor and respect as a comfortable, warm temperature. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Love, honor, respect. Comfortable, warm, glowing red color in the heart. And then the other healing sound we're going to do is simply for harmony, which is by bringing the fingertips together as if moving any hot, anxious energy down and out through the body, down through the body and out through the feet. Because with the sound, it's a sound like water hitting hot metal. So it's like that. It's a cooling sound. As that water cools the metal. It's you sort of imagine a sort of steamroller sort of rolling down, pushing down, squeezing any stress or anxiety out and down through your feet. So let's do that again. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale with a sound. Stress out. Anxiety out. Heat out, down, cooling ourselves. Cool down, they say. Get hot-headed, cool down. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale. There are several other healing sounds which we could go into, but we're going to keep it lean and keep focused on what I think is most effective for helping get a good night's sleep. We now move on to a breath from the shamanic healing traditions. It's the recapitulation breath, it's called. And the idea of this breath is to recapture energy or vitality that's been lost through the course of the day, and to exhale and release and let go of any tensions or stresses or negative emotions that have sort of got stuck in us during our interactions during the day. On an energetic level, it's about letting go of the energy that's got into us, any negative energy that's got into us, and breathing back into our body the energy, the vitality, the life force that we've lost through the day. If this whole idea of invisible energy doesn't resonate so well with you, don't worry, because you can look at these techniques from a purely physiological point of view and understand them from that point of view, and they can work as well. So look at it like this. So now, this breath is a simple turning of the head from side to side. You take your head across towards your right shoulder. So your right shoulder. Quite often when I teach, and I'm teaching a yoga class, I'll do the opposite. So we're on the same side of the screen, but this is slightly more detailed precision work. So when I say your right shoulder, you go to your right. So you take your chin across your right shoulder. And then you slowly breathe in as you move your head all the way across to the left. This is where you gather energy up. As you move your head back slowly, that's where you exhale any energy that you want to get rid of, or any stresses, any anxiety, any feelings. And the way this works is when you have stressful experiences, whether they're emotional, whether they're self-inflicted as a result of thoughts about life, about yourself, other people, or whether they're the result of social interactions, if you get a stressful and a difficult situation, it always comes with bodily tensions. And think about the spinal column. It's where your nervous system, the brain and the spinal column, the nervous system goes through this backbone. So the slightest little stress is going to cause either a discernible tension or even just a micro tension that you don't even notice. And we build up these tensions in our body, and our bodies get locked into positions even as a result of our thinking. Now, this is a process by where we generally just move the body through the range of motion that's available in this upper spinal column and deliberately breathe out any tensions that we've accumulated as a result of our experiences during the day. And we breathe in a more relaxed, easy disposition. And when I talk about energy, just think about it physically. Think about this. If you tense up your muscles and it gets locked into a position, that squeezes it stops the circulation flowing, it stops the circulation of blood and energy. Therefore, your vitality doesn't flow as well as it could do, as well as it should do. If you relax and release those tensions, your vitality starts to flow again, and you get back the circulation that you lost as a result of getting a little bit scrunched up in the back of the head, or the back of the neck, all these areas here. A lot of tensions get stored here. So when you do these movements, you can think of it simply as releasing the physical tensions that constricted the flow of circulation through your body, or you can think of it in terms of getting back energetic filaments and fibers. Your energetic nature as a being of light and being of energy. You gather energy, you release energy. You can think of it in whichever way you want, but the simplicity of this technique works very, very well as a preparation for sleep. You can go through the events of the day, starting from now and working back hour by hour. And as you just take your mind back through the day, you breathe in energy that you've lost. You breathe out any stresses that you acquired. And it's just a simple fanning of the head side to side as you do this. And it just resets you back to zero, back to where you started at the beginning of the day. Every day we have a certain amount of energy and vitality that's going to flow through our lives. That's the process of being alive. You have that life force. It flows through you for free. You don't have to do anything about it. And through the day, we can either increase that or decrease it. And we're just releasing the places where things got a bit tight and stressful, and resetting us back to the place where the energy flows more easily through the body. So take your chin over across towards your left shoulder. Inhale smoothly all the way across to the right, gathering up energy. As you exhale and take your chin all the way back across to the right, just exhale, releasing any stresses or strains or tensions or negative experiences. Breathe in calmness and sweetness and relaxation as you take your chin all the way across to the left. Hold it there for a beat and then breathe out any stresses or tensions or worries. Breathe in your peace of mind. Breathe in your confidence. Breathe in your sense of well-being. Breathe in your calmness and your serenity. And then breathe out the worry, suffering, the stress, the anxiety. Breathe it away. Pain. I'm not suggesting this breath can solve all of these problems, but any problems cause tensions. This breath can just help release a few of the tensions associated with the problems. We're not trying to fix the world. It's just preparing yourself for sleep. Can we let go of a little bit of the tensions that we've accumulated? Very simply, breathing in a positive state as we take the chin all the way from the right to the left. Breathing away any negative energy, any worries, and any acquired tensions that might have come in through the day as we exhale the chin all the way across to the right. Breathe in all the way back to the left, inhaling a positive state, calmness and sweetness. Exhaling any worries or anxieties. So now the quality of the movement is very smooth and flowing. Inhaling all the way across. Hold for a beat. Exhale all the way back. And that can create a sense of release, of calmness and freshness. So that's the last technique. But before we finish, I'd go back to the healing sound, the Taoist healing sound for harmony, to finish before I go to lie down and sleep on the bed, which I'm not, of course, because I'm just doing a video. See if I can help you get some better quality sleep. All of these techniques are more involved. I'm giving you just a little surface skim over the top, the recapitulation, the Taoist healing sounds, the Anuloma Viloma, the yogic breath, the breathe. These are all topics that could deserve a whole course in themselves, an hour, 5-hour video on each of those, no problem at all. But we just want a little taste of it to give you a small section of work that you can do and implement on a daily basis to help your sleep. It might work immediately. It might take a few nights of practicing these, but practice them and let me know. We finish the healing sound for harmony. Arms up, fingertips touch, exhale with the sound. You know, exhale. You know. Now I've been talking quite a lot through this video, so that interrupts the flow to some extent. So once you've watched it a couple of times, you might want to have the sequence without any of those interruptions. So I'm just going to go through just a few minutes of doing the sequence, doing some of the things we spoke about in an uninterrupted way. So once you've watched this a couple of times, you could just wind forward to this point in time. This point, I put my arms up so as you can see, this will be a visual cue that you've got to that point where I've stopped whittering on and chattering on with explanations and just do the techniques in a simple flow. So it's something you could follow if you wanted to. As these things get ingrained into your body, hopefully after a while you can do them without looking at a video. But for the moment, let's just start going to a simple abdominal breath. Hands sitting on the edge of, we're not slouching back, I'm not too comfortable. Sitting on the edge of the seat so the spine is nice and upright. Hands on the lower stomach. It's just deep breath, breathing in deeply to the tummy. Breathing out, squeezing the navel back towards the spine. Breathing in deeply to the lower abdomen. Allowing the breath to breathe in a bit more up into the chest. Breathing out from the chest. Out from the lower abdomen. So doing a full yoga breath. Both sets of anatomy, the lower body and upper body. Breathe in deeply to the stomach. All the way up to the chest. And breathe out. Once more, deep, long, slow breath in. Deep, long, slow breath out. Now we do the box breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold 4. Breathe out for 4. Hold on empty for 4. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. Hold on empty for 4. Make it longer now. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. Breathe out for 5. Stay on empty for 5. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. Breathe out for 5. Stay on empty for 5. And breathe in, relax. Moving to the alternate nostril breathing. Close off your right nostril with your thumb. Breathe in through your left nostril. Close off your left nostril. Breathe out through your right nostril. In through your left nostril. Hold. Breathe out through your right nostril. Hold. Breathe in through your left nostril. Hold. Breathe out through your right nostril. Same thing, but a bit longer. Breathe in through your left nostril. Breathe out through your right nostril, a little bit longer. Longer, deeper breath in through the left. Out to the right. And relax. Go to the Taoist healing sound. Firstly, for the heart, exhaling any sort of impatience or haste, stress. Push the palms up. Lean down to your right side. That opens up the left with the sound. Exhaling any heat, impatience, haste. Inhale calmness, love, honor, respect. Look into your heart and see it fill with a beautiful, pure ruby red color. Once more, breathe in any haste, impatience. Exhale with a sound. Inhale patience and calmness, love and honor, respect and understanding. Smile to your heart, see it fill with a beautiful ruby red color, radiating a warm, comfortable warmth, love, patience, honor, respect. You move on to the healing sound for harmony, activating the triple heater meridian, the one that's associated with the immune system, and a sense of emotional safety, which is what we want to sleep well. Exhale with the sound of water hitting hot metal. Inhale. Any heat or stress or anxiety down and out through the body. Once more. Rest your hands. Take your chin all the way across towards your right shoulder and breathe in positive, calm energy. Breathe out any stress, worry, anxiety as you take your chin all the way across towards your left, back towards your right shoulder. Inhale, calmness and serenity as you take your head all the way across to the left, restoring your energy. Exhaling any tensions acquired through the day as you take your chin all the way across to the right. And go through your day, the last hour, anything to let go, just let it go on the out breath. And breathe in peacefulness, relaxation, and harmony. Breathe out any worry, anxiety, stress, sadness. Breathe in relaxed harmony, peacefulness, energy. Just continue like that. Just breathing in the good stuff as you take the chin to the left shoulder. Breathing out the bad stuff. Take your chin all the way across the right shoulder. And then finish with the healing sound for harmony once more. Breathe in, fingertips together, exhale. Any stress, any remaining stress or tension down, out through your body. And that brings us to the end of our sequence from Alex's Vitality Academy to help you get a good night's sleep. So that's a little bit of a vitality boost for a better night's sleep. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me any comments or write to me. Always happy to hear from you. And in the meantime, sleep well.